All right, hell yes. This is another one where I have options. I'm way over onto that pile. And that pile does surf me, so it surfs me back in, but we just moved too far towards the center. We do a shoulder spin right there. That's kind of that's a real basic signature that we can do right there. Yeah, and then we try to do a spin off the pile. We don't grab enough of the pile, and we don't, get wet. We don't get surfed back in. But I'm going to take a look at this first one because we're doing a pile spin and it rides up against the pile. So we're doing, and it kind of is a low side spin. I'm trying to be over there on that low side to actually drive in. But like there we go. We're getting sucked in and we're not even on that side no more. So it is almost just like we're setting up a high side spin. All right, so sweet. So when we set this up, we get a little bit, there's not a lot of room here, so we do bite a little bit. But this gives me some time. If it does bite, I'm back up onto the wave and I can just chill it out and then pry it back in. I'm kind of just riding the surface and just kind of noticing that my body is up over the wave. But here's the opportunity to do more, like don't do the body switch from here to there, but just maintain on this side. And if I am backwards, you know what I mean? Just know how to do a pry off the front. It's kind of difficult for me to even think about, but it is a pry, so I'm getting my paddle into that portion of the boat, and then I'm prying it. And so that's going to be the T-grips. Like, what are we trying to do? That's so interesting. A pry. So if we do paddle this direction on that other side, the boat's going to turn this way. A pry makes the boat turn that way, and so a pry is prying the back of the boat that way. Sometimes that takes me a while to think about, but hell yeah, get my paddle in and then pry the water away from that direction to get the boat going that way and getting it to spun back in. Because right here I'm at the front of the boat and I really need it to drive back and then kind of just work this hole. So that's I need to surf all the way around it and then get my paddle to the other side, knowing that the hole is over there, and then just work that smiley face. So this is one of those. If I'm doing a pile turn, and I'm not able to, well, even if I do spin a pile turn all the way around, I need to be totally focused on doing another pile spin the opposite way. So hell yeah. So I'm all set up for a high side pile spin, and then when I do the high side pile spin, in this I need to be heavily low sided just to even capture it. But when I do, you know what I mean? So if I'm over here, if I can reach over and get my paddle in, start to drive that the other direction. So either stop that momentum. But yeah, this is very bothersome when the nose of the boat is getting kicked out and then it bites in and it doesn't allow me to get back into that pile. All right, so a couple options there. Not the best video, but just because I can't see exactly what I want to do on this. But hell yeah. But we do a shoulder spin there and then do another pile spin. Yeah, and what happens here is just like, and this is where maybe maintaining over here, I don't know. I think actually jumping forward and working on back serve. So if I'm backwards, get forward and then work on prying, off the front. Get that boat, because the boat's going too far that way. So especially if I'm over rotated, jump to the front and get that boat to pry. And just figure out whether it's a pry or a bow draw. If this is the bow or stern of the boat, doesn't really matter. But hell yeah. So that's what I just need to focus on, especially, being on this tube and not doing a transition, making sure that I lean forward and then rudder or, pry, do a bow draw from that portion of the boat. Obviously, that'd be the back of the boat now, but whatever. All right, hell yeah.